Hello friends, my name is Swapnil Wag from Arts, Commerce and Science College Salwad. In previous lecture, we discussed or studied introduction to gymnosperm. Now I revise some general characters of gymnosperms. We already studied gymnosperms are plants with naked seeds, and the gymnosperms are evergreen, woody perennial with shrubby or tree-like habit. Most of gymnosperm they showing xerophytic characters like sunken stomata, then taproot system. Then the main plant body of the gymnosperms is a sporophyte and differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Means true root, stem and leaves are present. Then these plants have well developed root system. For example, taproot system is present in gymnosperms. Then two types of leaves are found in gymnosperms, foliage leaves and the scaly leaves. Then vascular bundles in gymnosperms are cojoint, collateral and open vascular bundles. Cojoint means both xylem and phloem is present, collateral means they lie side by side, and open means cambium is present within xylem and phloem. Then xylem consists of tracheids while vessels are absent. Actually, two exception in gymnosperm, that is Gnathum and Ephedra, they having vessels as well as tracheids, but other gymnosperm they lack vessels. And what is the role of vessel and tracheids? Tracheids and vessels are responsible for translocation of water. Then companion cells are also absent in gymnosperms. Phloem tissue is made up of four types of cell: companion cells, then pseudofilaments, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Out of that, companion cells are absent in gymnosperms. Then the reproductive part consists male cone and the female cone. Male cone is actually made up of microsporophyll. They present or born on central axis. Inside microsporophyll, some spaces are there, that is known as microsporangia. Inside microsporangia, microspores are formed. While female cone are made up of megasporophylls, and on that megasporophylls, ovules are born. Then we studied the LS of ovule, that is internal structure of ovule with longitudinal section. Ovule generally made up of integuments at the outer side, then nucellus and the embryo sac. Embryo sac is also known as female gametophyte. This is the structure of ovule, and after fertilization this ovule is converted into the seeds. Then polyembryony is present in gymnosperms. Polyembryony means more than one embryo is formed in gymnosperms. These plants having distinct alternation of generation, means sporophyte and gametophytic phase, they are alternate to each other. Out of two phases, sporophyte is the dominant phase while gametophyte is the recessive phase. These are some general characters we already studied. I again revise you the general characters of gymnosperms. Then see, in this lecture we are going to study life cycle of pinus, then distribution of pinus, morphology means external characters of root, stem and leaves, then anatomy means internal characters of root, stem and leaves, then reproduction, gametophyte, sporophyte, seed structure and alternation of generation. Then see the life cycle of pinus. Actually, pinus belongs to family Pinaceae. See, this pinus belong to family Pinaceae, and there are about 90 species of pinus found worldwide. 90 species of pinus found in world. Then there are only genus. This is the only genus of pinus, is the only genus in subfamily Pinoideae. Then see the systematic position of pinus. Pinus belongs to kingdom Plantae, then division Pinophyta, then class Pinopsida, then order Pineals, then family Pinaceae and genus Pinus. This Pinus consist more than or about 90 species worldwide. Then see the distribution of this pinus. Actually, pinus, they are found on temperate region of northern hemispheres. Then I will show you the temperate region. See, if I draw Earth here, for example, then this is the east, then west, south and north. These are the 4 directions. Then middle part of this earth is known as tropical region. ज्याला आपण मराठीत विषुववृत्त म्हणतो. विषुववृत्त ज्या भागातून जातं त्याला काय म्हटलं जातं? ट्रॉपिकल रिजन. सी, दिस इज द ट्रॉपिकल रिजन वेअर टेम्परेचर इज समवॉट more than the other regions. Then outside this tropical region, temperate region is there on both sides. From tropical region to the north hemisphere and from tropical region to the south hemisphere, this part between northern hemisphere and the tropical region and southern hemisphere and the tropical region is known as temperate region, and temperature here is less than the tropical region. And actually these pinus, they are distributed in this temperate region of northern hemisphere. See, they are generally distributed here, temperate region of northern hemispheres. Then they grow on slopes of mountains and form dense and evergreen forest. Actually they are also seen in slopes of Himalaya, means they are found on slopes of mountain. Then see the distribution of pinus in India. There are 6 to 7 species found in India. Out of that we are going to study 5 species and their distribution. First one is the Pinus roxburghi. First species is the Pinus roxburghi. Actually this species found in slopes of mountain, that is Himalaya. See, this is found in Kashmir, then Uttaranchal, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab at altitude between 3,500 feet to 12,500 feet. This plant is 120 feet to 190 feet in height. Then second one is the Pinus gerardiana. This is the second species. It is also found in Kashmir, see Kashmir, then Kunnar, Himachal Pradesh at altitude between 6,700 to 10,500 feet from sea level. Then the height of this plant is between 40 to 60 feet. Then see, third one is the Pinus wallichiana, found in outer Himalaya, then Himachal Pradesh, then Uttaranchal and Kashmir as well as Punjab at altitude between 3,200 to 12,500 feet. Then height of this plant is 150 or more than 150 feet. Then see, the next species is the Pinus insularis, found in Assam, then Khasi Hills, Nagaland. The all states belongs to Himalaya, and the height between 2,500 to 5,000 feet. Then height of this plant is more than 100 feet. Last one is the Pinus armandi. This species found in Arunachal Pradesh at altitude between or at the altitude of 400 feet from sea level, and height of this plant is 55 to 65 feet. These are the 5 species. They are generally distributed in India, and mostly this species found in Himalayas. Then see the next slide. Morphology of Pinus. Pinus is actually the sporophytic plant. Sporophytic means it produces spores. Therefore, it is known as sporophytic plant or sporophyte. Which type of spores are produced by Pinus? 2 types of spores are produced by Pinus, that is microspore and the megaspore. Therefore, it is known as sporophytic. And second one, this sporophytic plant body, it is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. True root, true stem and true leaves are present. In some plant group, true root, stem and leaves are absent. For example, bryophytes. While in pteridophyte, gymnosperm and the angiosperm, true root, true stem and true leaves are present. See the root, morphology of root. Morphology means the external characters or features of organism is known as morphology. Then see a root, well developed taproot system. Taproot system, we already studied the taproot system and the adventitious root system. In taproot system, primary root is formed, and on that primary root secondary roots are born. This primary root is there on which secondary roots are formed. These are the secondary roots, and this primary root, it grow very deep in soil up to water. Then these are the tertiary roots. Tertiary roots, they are developed on secondary roots. This is actually the taproot system. This taproot system is responsible for absorption of water, mineral nutrients and also support the plant, because height of plant is more than 100 feet or 150 feet. Therefore, it support to that plant. This is the taproot system. Then lateral roots are well developed than the primary roots. Also in this system, lateral roots are well developed for providing support. These lateral roots, they are also the well developed for providing support to the plant. Then roots having symbiotic association with ectomycorrhiza. What is meant by symbiosis? Symbiosis means when both the members in association are beneficial, then it is known as symbiotic association. Here these roots, they are associated with ectomycorrhiza. Ectomycorrhiza means mycorrhiza is the fungus, and if it present on outer surface of roots, then it is known as ectomycorrhiza. If present inside the cells, cortical cells, then it is known as endomycorrhiza. This ectomycorrhiza, it is associated with these roots, and both are beneficial in this association. How they get beneficial? Ectomycorrhiza actually provide soluble phosphate to the plant, while plants, they provide shelter to the ectomycorrhiza. Therefore, both are beneficial in this association. Therefore, this is known as symbiotic association. It is also known as mutualism, means positive interaction. Then this mycorrhiza belongs to basidiomycetes because they produce basidiospores. Therefore, it belongs to basidiomycetes. This is all about the root. Then stem. In Pinus, stem is aerial, grow in air, then erect, woody. Actually, wood is very tough and hard. It is also used to prepare timber. Then stem covered with thick bark. Thick bark is also present on stem. Then branches present, and the branches are dimorphic. Dimorphic means 2 type of branches seen in Pinus plant. See, first one is the branches of unlimited growth, it is also known as long shoots. And second one, branches with limited growth, it is also known as dwarf shoots or spur shoots. Three names for the dwarf shoots: limited growth, branches of limited growth, dwarf shoots, or the spur shoots. And during abscission, dwarf shoots get removed. Then see the leaf. There are two types of leaves are present. One is the foliage. Foliage leaves are generally green in color. They are somewhat large and they are responsible for photosynthesis. Then scaly leaves. Scaly leaves are somewhat small, membranous, and they are responsible for providing protection to the plant. See, the first one is the scaly. I already told that these are thin, then membranous, then dorsiventral flattened. They are spirally arranged on long as well as dwarf shoot, and they generally provide protection to the dwarf as well as long shoot. Then foliage leaves, they are green in color. Due to the green color, they are responsible for photosynthesis. They are somewhat long, needle-like. This is the important feature. They look like the needle. They are 10 centimeter in length, and number of needle per dwarf shoot may be variable. In different species, different number of needles are found. For example, unifoliar means if single needle is found, then it is known as unifoliar leaves. In Pinus monophylla, in this species, unifoliar leaves are found. Then trifoliar in Pinus roxburghi, trifoliar leaves are present. Trifoliar means they are made up of 3 needles. This is the morphology of Pinus. Root, stem, and leaves are present. Then see the long shoot, dwarf shoot, and the needles. See the diagram. In this diagram, see, these are the long shoots or shoots with unlimited growth. See, this is the long shoots. Then on long shoots, dwarf shoots are born, and these dwarf shoots are also known as spur. They are also known as spur, or it is also known as shoots with unlimited growth. Shoots with unlimited growth. It is also known as spur or shoots with unlimited growth. Then see, these are the needles. These are needles. Actually, these are the leaves, green leaves. And needles may vary in different species of Pinus. In Pinus roxburghi, 3 needles are present. In Pinus monophylla, only 1 needle is present. In this diagram, 5 needles are present. See, these are the long shoots or shoots with unlimited growth. Then dwarf shoots, they are born on long shoots, and needles, they originate from dwarf shoots. This is morphology of long shoot, dwarf shoot, and the needles. Then see the next diagram, anatomy. Now we are going to study anatomy. What is meant by anatomy? Anatomy means study, or it is defined as internal characters or structures of organism is known as anatomy. Now we are going to study anatomy of root, means internal structure of root. See, first diagram, Pinus, TS of young root, and second diagram is the TS of old root. TS means transverse section. If we take a section of young root and old root, what is the difference between young root and the old root? See, from outer side we get start, these are the root hairs are present on epiblema or epidermis. Epiblema is made up of epidermal cells, and epidermal cells, they are somewhat rectangular. See, these are the epidermal cells, and this single layered epidermis is present on outer side, from which unicellular root hairs are born. See, these are the root hairs. These root hairs, they are increase the surface area for water absorption. Then epidermal cells are somewhat rectangular, intercellular spaces are absent, and these rectangular epidermal cells, they form the epidermis. Then inside the epidermis, cortex is there. Cortex is there. It is actually made up of cortical cells. See, this part is known as cortex, and these are cortical cells, and these cortical cells, they are somewhat rectangular, pentagonal, and intercellular spaces absent within them. Then some resin canals are present within cortical cells or cortex. Resin canals, they are responsible for formation of resin in gymnosperms. See, these are the resin canals, they are present in cortex also. Then see the third layer from outside, it is the endodermis. Endodermis. Inside the cortex, single layered or multi-layered endodermis is present. This is the endodermis. Endodermis is made up of endodermal cells. Then it is followed by pericycle. Single layered pericycle is present within or beneath the endodermis. This is the endodermis. Then this is single layered pericycle is present inside the endodermis. Inside the pericycle, vascular bundle is present, and actually vascular bundle is V shape, Y shape, sorry. See, this is the Y shape vascular bundle present inside the endodermis. Actually, xylem tissue is surrounded by phloem. Xylem toward inside, while phloem it surround the xylem tissue. This is the Y shape vascular bundle, and actually this vascular bundle is cojoint and collateral, means both xylem and phloem are present, they lie side by side. This is all about the vascular bundle. Then see the TS of old root. In old root, outside, at the outside, epidermis is replaced by cork in old root. See, this is the cork, and epidermis is actually replaced by these cork cells, and this cork is developed due to the cork cambium, and cambium is the tissue, it is responsible for, or it having the meristematic activity, therefore it adds some cells at the outer side of cortex, and it generally form the cork. The three layers of cork, that is cork cambium, secondary cortex, and cork, jointly constitute the periderm. Actually this part is known as periderm, and periderm is made up of cork, then cork cambium. Inside this cork cambium is there, and finally secondary cortex is present. Inside that, secondary cortex is present, and this secondary cortex, cork cambium, and the cork togetherly known as periderm. What is the role of periderm? Actually this periderm form bark, and it also provide protection. Then see the cortex. Inside the cortex, secondary or cambium is present, and that cambium is responsible for formation of secondary xylem and secondary phloem twice in year, and therefore secondary growth is present in old root. Actually, this secondary growth is initiated by formation of cambium arches that develop from the cells of ground tissue lying just inner to primary phloem, and this cambium cuts secondary xylem on the inner side while secondary phloem on the outer side, and secondary medullary rays on the both side. Thus, this collateral secondary vascular bundle are formed. Now, the cells of pericycle lying opposite to protoxylem give rise to another cambial strip, thus completing the cambium ring. Actually, secondary growth is present in old stem, and cambium, it is the meristematic tissue responsible for formation of secondary xylem and secondary phloem inside the root. See, at the outer side secondary xylem, which is covered by secondary phloem, and the inner side primary xylem, which is covered by primary phloem. In 1 year, 2 times secondary xylem and secondary phloem is formed, and this secondary xylem and secondary phloem, they generally responsible to increase the girth of root or diameter of root. Due to that, it also provides support to the old plant due to increasing girth of root. This is all about the anatomy of root. Then see the next diagram, anatomy of stem. Anatomy of stem. See, TS of young stem means transverse section of young stem, and TS of 2-year-old stem. First of all, we are going to discuss we are going to study the TS of young stem, transverse section of young stem. Young stem is covered by single layered epidermis. See, epidermis is made up of epidermal cells, and young stem is covered with epidermis. Then it is followed by cortex. Epidermis is followed by cortex. Cortex actually made up of parenchyma cells. Then inside that cortex vascular bundles are present. See, these are vascular bundles, and these vascular bundles consist xylem and phloem tissue. Xylem toward inside while phloem toward the outside, and inside that xylem, see, I highlight here. See, this is the vascular bundle. Sorry, this is vascular bundle, and this is second vascular bundle. Then this one is the third vascular bundle. Inside these vascular bundles, cambium is present at the center. Cambium is the meristematic tissue, and outside the cambium, this is the phloem, and inside the cambium xylem tissue is present. Here xylem is present, and therefore this vascular bundle is known as cojoint, means xylem and phloem both are present in vascular bundle. Collateral means they lie side by side, and open vascular bundle means cambium is present within xylem and phloem. Therefore this vascular bundle is known as cojoint, collateral and open vascular bundle. Then the center part of stem is known as pith. See, this is the pith. This is the transverse section of young stem. In young stem, at the outer side epidermis is present. It may be single layered or multi-layered. Then cortex is present. Then inside cortex lip traces are there. Lip traces means some leaves, they get fall and form lip trace inside the cortex. Then vascular bundle are conjoint, collateral and open vascular bundle. Then medullary rays are present. Then inside or center of the stem is made up of pith. Center of stem is made up of pith. This is the anatomy of young stem. Then see the TS of 2-year-old stem. Here now epidermis is fall off and peridermis form. I already told that how peridermis form. Periderm is formed due to the cambium ring that is present inside cortex, and this cambium is responsible for formation of cork, then secondary cortex and cork cambium, and togetherly cork cambium and the secondary cortex is known as periderm. Actually this periderm is nothing but the bark. In initial stages epidermis is present in stem, while in lateral stages epidermis get fall off and bark is formed. And you know the function of bark. Bark is actually responsible for providing protection. For example, this is the stem and periderm is the outermost covering of the stem. It is also known as bark. And how this bark is formed? It is formed due to the secondary growth or secondary cambium present within the cortex, and that secondary cambium responsible for formation of periderm. Then see the resin canals are present inside the cortex. These some resin canals, they are responsible for formation of resin. This is the important function of gymnosperms. In gymnosperm stem, root as well as leaves having some resin canals, and they secrete some chemicals and they are responsible for formation of resins. Then inside the cortex secondary phloem is formed. How secondary phloem is formed? Secondary phloem is formed due to the vascular cambium. See, in young stem I told that inside the vascular bundle vascular cambium is present. See, this is the vascular cambium inside xylem and phloem. In initial stages primary xylem and primary phloem is formed. Primary xylem is formed toward the inside, where primary phloem formed toward the outside of cambium. Actually this cambium having meristematic activity, due to that it adds some cells toward the inside as well as toward the outside. This primary and primary phloem is formed, and after that in old stem it form secondary xylem toward the inside and secondary phloem toward the outside. See, this is the secondary phloem toward the outside, while inner portion, this inner portion is made up of secondary xylem, and this secondary xylem, see, this is secondary xylem. It generally cambium add more secondary xylem than the secondary phloem. Therefore see here, this is the secondary xylem. The length of secondary xylem is somewhat more than the length of secondary phloem, and this secondary xylem and secondary phloem is formed by cambium ring. Which cambium? Vascular cambium. And see the center is made up of pith. Center is made up of pith. Means overall in gymnosperm secondary growth is present, and this secondary growth is responsible for formation of secondary xylem and secondary phloem. And what is the importance of secondary xylem and secondary phloem? Secondary xylem and secondary phloem they generally increase girth and diameter of stem, and due to that the size of stem get increasing continuously. As old plant get actually the size of that stem get increasing day by day, and therefore this type of wood is useful for formation of timber, because secondary xylem and secondary phloem is providing toughness or hardness to that particular wood, and therefore this type of wood we used for making some furniture, then doors, then windows, bridges, etc. This is all about the anatomy of stem. Then see the anatomy of leaf. Actually this is anatomy of needle, because needles are present in pinus, and if we take a section of needle we get this triangular structure. It look like triangle. See, this is the triangular structure of needle. See, from outer side it is covered with epidermis. I told that epidermis is made up of epidermal cells. Single layered epidermis is present on leaf. And what is function of epidermis? Epidermis is provide protection, as well as epidermis having some spaces, it is known as stoma or stomata, through which gases exchange takes place. Oxygen and CO2 can exchange through stomata. Also, second important function of stomata is the transpiration. Transpiration means the removal of water in the form of water vapor. This is all about the epidermis. Then see, inside the epidermis hypodermis is there. This hypodermis, it may be single layered or the multi-layer. Hypo means that the layer that present just beneath the epidermis is known as hypodermis. Then inside the hypodermis cortex is present. See, this is the cortex. Cortex. Then cortex is actually made up of mesophyll cells, and mesophyll cells are responsible for formation of food material by photosynthesis. Then inside that the endodermis is present. Inside the cortex endodermis is present. This is the endodermis. Endodermis is made up of endodermal cells, and vascular bundle is enclosed by an endodermis. Then this endodermis is followed by pericycle, and pericycle is actually made up of parenchymatous cells. See, this endodermis is followed by pericycle. Endodermis is actually made up of some sclerenchymatous cells, and sclerenchyma cells, they provide mechanical strength to the leaf. Then single layered pericycle is present within endodermis. It is made up of parenchyma cells. Sclerenchyma provide mechanical strength, while parenchyma they are responsible to store the food material. And inside the pericycle vascular bundle is present. See, this is the phloem tissue. This one is the phloem, and inside phloem xylem is present. See, this is xylem, this is xylem, and this xylem is surrounded by phloem. outside the xylem, this is the phloem. See, this is the phloem. Xylem is made up of protoxylem and the metaxylem. Proto and meta. What is meant by protoxylem? Proto means small tracheids is known as protoxylem. Meta means large tracheids are known as metaxylem. And these tracheids are responsible for conduction of water, which is covered by phloem tissue. Phloem is made up of sieve tube elements, companion cells are absent, and phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. While xylem is made up of tracheids, then xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Then this is about the vascular bundle. Then inside the cortex, resin canals are present. See, these are the resin canals. I already told that these resin canals, they are responsible for secretion of some chemicals, and these chemicals, they are responsible for formation of some resins as well as turpentines, etc. These resin canals are present within the cortex. And this is the anatomy of leaf. Actually, single layered cuticle may be present on epidermis at the outside. Single layered cuticle, and we know the function of cuticle. Cuticle, if it is thick, then it reduces the rate of transpiration, and sometimes thin cuticle may be present on epidermal cells. See, this is the cuticle, and cuticle may be present on outer epidermis. It generally useful for reduction of transpiration. This is all about the anatomy of leaf. Then I used some references for this lecture. You may refer textbook of Spermatophyta and Paleobotany by Success Publication. Then second, another important reference book for Gymnosperm, that is the Gymnosperm by H. Chand publication. Authors are Vasishta, Sinha and Anil Kumar. This is actually the important book as a reference to study the gymnosperms. And also second one is the Gymnosperms by New Age International Private Limited, and the authors are Bhatnagar, Moitra. This is also the important book to study the gymnosperms. You may refer these three books for study the different gymnosperms. I hope you understand the lecture, and in second lecture we are going to study reproduction in Pinus. Thank you.